Hello, hello.
Hey, how's it going? Am I unmuted? I didn't even hit the unmute. uh, Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, we'll give it like a minute or two yet. Daniel's going to be joining us, and I believe Adam is going to be tuning in as well to get up on stage. I know he's kind of like working on top of it, so he'll be catching as much airtime as he can. But yeah, I want to open up the space by just kind of like reflecting on where we've been at for spaces so far for the year. We started off the year with OniForce, and then we went into Rent Space. And now today we have the ICP Community Conference, and we are joined by Isaac and Esteban. So, welcome back to the stage. I know we had you up a couple times last year, and obviously last year was a big moment for us to be partnered with you for the first ever ICP Community Conference. And yeah, looking forward to discussing this and getting the details all out there for everyone to be able to join this year's conference on May 10th. So I'll pass it over to you, Isaac, while we kind of get Daniel in here.
Sounds great. Well, hey, thanks for having us again, Kyle, and also just thanks for your support. I think it was awesome having your team there and like getting to meet all of you in person, and y'all did just a great job of like getting out content during the whole 2 days of the last event. I know that was a ton of work, but while we get everyone on here, I can mention the funny way that I kind of roped you into that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you can go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened is when he found out, as soon as Kyle found out that we were gonna do the very first conference for ICP, he went ahead and like sniped, what was it, like the portal for ICP conference or something like that. And I was like, hey, cool, great. So if you want to if you want to have that, well, then you're gonna have to help us get the content out at the event. And we invited them, and so yeah, be careful what portals you register, because you might just get roped into doing a lot of media work.
That's a good thing, though. In the long term perspective of it, it's a good thing. But yeah, no, we have like I think I mean, I don't think there's anyone else that has as many portals as me on Discover. I'm gonna be
The
honest.
portal king.
Yeah, like definitely like 200 something or something like that.
Oh my gosh, that's way more than I would have guessed. It's incredible.
yeah, yeah. I had a lot of points from marketing a lot of stuff over the years or the 2 years or so. But yeah, like definitely happy to be a part of the ICP Community Conference and making it special for the community because that's ultimately like what matters the most here of like the people that really make the IC go around, because like we're nothing without the people that really show up every day. And I feel like over the like because we're approaching 3 years now, I just feel like the community is still like rooting for us all. We're working hard, like day in day out to deliver and keep growing the ecosystem and to give back to the community. What you guys are doing is a tremendous job and an effort on your end, because I know you guys are working so hard to be able to put on these conferences and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna pass it over to Daniel quick because he just got in. I know he wants to do his quick intro.
Yep. Hey guys, how's it going? Good to see everyone again. It's been a little bit since I've been on the spaces. Lots of travel, in and out of like being sick and stuff. But it's nice to make a little bit of a return. Yeah, I'm happy to have these guys up today because we've had a good time and a good relationship with them for quite some time. And after seeing each other multiple times at different live events, we're happy to make this go about with them for another year. So happy to look into what we got stirring up today.
All right. Well, with that, are you cool with Kyle, with me just kind of giving a rundown of what this upcoming event looks like?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. I know you guys got a lot in store. I did remember the Eventbrite and all that, and I have that popped up here just in case we miss on any of the topics you want to touch on. So yeah, start it off with wherever you would like, and what people can expect for the ICP Community Conference for 2024.
Great. So yeah, I mean, and I think the first thing is just the word conference. We're actually referring to it by the acronym ICPCC because, like we love the conference we did last year. We think that was awesome. And we're going to continue with that format into 2025. But this event that we've designed for this year is a different animal. And I don't even think conference is the right word. The right word for this event is it's more like an onboarding event, or almost maybe like an ICP holiday, because we wanted to create something that kind of solved like two main problems. Like the first problem was just accessibility. So like not everybody can fly out to one place in the world. It's expensive to fly out somewhere for a few days, and there were so many IC people that just were in different countries that would like to have been included or like to have been part of it, but it seemed a little sad that like we're this global decentralized thing. How can we make something where everybody can celebrate and everybody can be part of it, make it accessible as possible? So we felt like there's a need for a different format of event that we're experimenting with this year. And going into 2025, we want to do both formats, both the big normal conference everybody kind of does every year, the normal thing, and then this global thing that we're doing this year. And the second thing that we want to solve is nobody really learned. Like there's a few people who just kind of showed up because of the meetup locally, like during the last year's conference. And aside from them, almost nobody like really learned about the basics of ICP during the last conference. Like it was awesome in what it was, which was like a celebration of our top innovators, them sharing a bunch of great insight into what they're building. But we took inspiration this year from what happened with the incredible Genesis launch event that Dfinity did. Back in 2021 at the beginning of all this, launching the network. And like that event really onboarded and educated and gave those aha moments to most of the current ecosystem. I mean, like 70% or so of the ecosystem, if you ask them what was the first time they heard about ICP and what really brought them into it, it was that live stream where the vision was laid out and people could be made to understand what it is, because we are a weird network, right? We're not like other L1s. And we've always talked within the ecosystem about how we need to be more external and get out of our soundbox. We need to onboard people. And so this event is designed to do exactly just that we need to do onboarding and we need to be accessible. And so the main core of it is going to be a huge 9-hour live stream. And there's going to be meetup watch parties all over the world that are organized to basically meet together in person. So we still have that in-person aspect of just like coming together and meeting Web3 people. But it's going to be in cities all around the world. And it's going to be based around like what we're calling these primetime slots within this main live stream. So basically at the very start and at the very end of it, and it kind of starts, May 10th is a Friday. So it like starts like Friday afternoon in Europe and it ends Friday afternoon in the USA time zones. Basically, like the first 30 minutes and last 30 minutes or so are going to be like a distilled version of that original Genesis event of like, what is ICP? Why you should care, like in terms of like how it integrates with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then like what you can do now, or like what you can do with this information moving forward to become part of the ecosystem and be part of it. So it's like a re-celebration of what everyone loves about ICP for those of us who already know about it. But we want this more than anything to be a tool for you. So everybody out there, if you've got a Bitcoin maxi friend or an ETH maxi friend, this is your opportunity to be like, hey, let's go get some free pizza and meet some cool Web3 people, maybe get some airdrops this Friday after work downtown. And then they show up and they see brilliant minds all over the world. Like they would be having somebody like, maybe like Andy from Loca Mining, who's like, hey, I'm building the first ever decentralized Bitcoin mining pool. And I'm able to do that because of how ICP is able to integrate with Bitcoin. And he spends a few minutes explaining that, right? So it's not like the message is, we're calling it Web3 alien tech invasion. So like we're bringing ICP's alien tech to the rest of Web3, and we're reaching out people to where they are. So I want to think of this as a multi-chain event because ICP is a multi-chain network, like we're inherently a multi-chain tool. And so the messaging is not, you don't have to stop being a Bitcoin maxi. You don't have to stop being an Ethereum maxi. We know what you love. Let us show you what value we can add to what you already love. Let's show you why ICP should be on your radar. Let's explain the basics so you understand it. And that way, like we reach our place as the glue of all of Web3. And we have, as a community, lots of reshareable resources after this event where it's easy for anyone to be onboarded into ICP and be able to know the basics and know how it applies to what they love. Our goal is to, like, when we set out designing this in the very beginning, we wanted to see if we could, like, 2x the size of the ecosystem. And after we've had so many calls with all the top brands across ICP, all the top content creators like yourself behind the scenes. We've been at like over 10 calls a day. Dude, everybody's pumped. Everybody's gonna have big announcements. There's gonna be so many giveaways. It's gonna be like a Black Friday for ICP. Like, every project's doing some type of giveaway or contest or whatever. Like, if you love ICP, this is like your day to have a holiday for it. It's gonna be awesome. And if you're new to ICP, this is the day where you're gonna learn about it and be able to learn the basics, and the questions you always had will be covered. So, I think we can 3x or more the size of the ecosystem at this point, with all the PR that we're doing and marketing. And it's an honor, honestly, to just be part of organizing this, because how desperately have we all needed this kind of thing for so long. We're 3 years in. It's about time we've had another big Genesis launch event type wave of onboarding, basically.
Yeah, and I love that you compared it to like Black Friday for the IC, and it happens to fall on Friday. So if people aren't camping outside our doors, I'm going to be a little disappointed. So yeah, and I love that this year you guys went for like the more inclusive approach. I know it's a free event, free tickets for everyone to be able to get in. Most conferences, and sorry, this is an onboarding event, but just in like perspective, most conferences are like anywhere from $600 to like $1,500 a ticket for general admission, which is outrageous. And like, who can really afford that if they're not even like into crypto but want to get interested in it? Like, that's a pretty big, challenge for someone to just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start learning more about the industry, and all of a sudden they have a $1,500 ticket or $1,000 ticket to get in, and it's like, okay, like it just seems like too high price to begin with, and the events outside of some of the conferences like are typically better than the conferences at times, especially with like the deals and stuff that go in. Like you'll find like more VCs and stuff that are making deals at some of those events. So like it's great for the industry, for these conferences to take place, but some of them really need to rethink about how inclusive they're being. And I'm glad that you guys took that approach for this, and to be like locally present across, like, I would say, like hubs all over the world for people to be able to come in and join, to making it much easier for travel.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of hubs, some of the ICP hubs will be, of course, participating. They kind of get priority for their areas. So like that's great. And really, to your point, like I think that there's a place for each type of event. Like the normal conference where the top innovators spend all this money, fly out to this one place, meet together in person. Like there's a great place for that. So we're going to keep that. So like in 2025, there'll be like that big normal conference, but then it'll also be this inclusive thing that really fits the vibe a bit more of decentralized nature. Like, I want people everywhere on Earth being able to have the accessibility to meet with people who love ICP near them and be part of it. And I wouldn't think of it as we're not having one big event this year. I would actually think of it as we're having, like last year we had 150 attendees, most of them top, founders or VCs, and that was great. But this year we're already tracking to probably have like 5 to 6 huge meetups with like 200 people plus. So you basically can fly to a meetup if you still want to, where you can meet a bunch of ICP innovators in like a regional hotspot. You just might not have to fly to another continent this time, and it won't be like multiple days. But like that's a pro. So like for the diehard ICP people, there are going to be huge meetups, even bigger than last year, that you can attend. And then for somebody who's just like a college student who loves ICP, and you can get a micro grant to host a pizza party to watch this live stream with your friends on campus. Like, and those little smaller groups, my heart in it is like, how great would it be if some of them continued to meet after this conference? If they just said, hey, here, you have 30 students at one university that decide, hey, we want to meet once a month about ICP. Think of how many founder teams could come out of that. How many projects could start out of that? Like don't sort the small groups, right? Like that's I think where a lot of the honest value in the communities comes from is just meeting the people locally and making those connections. And I did a poll on Twitter recently with 222 votes, and 71% of the people have never been to an ICP in real life event before, and it's like 11% had only been to one before. So, maybe that's okay for like a shitcoin down low on CoinMarketCap, but we're an L1, and like Near, which is number 25, lower market cap than us, they had over 2,000 people at an event last year. So like we can do some, we were doing all right, but like I think we can do better. And I just can't wait to see the energy added to our ecosystem when that number is like only 20% have never been to an ICP event. Like imagine how many more connections, engagements, projects, and just involvement is going to come out of people building those in-person connections that really like loop them in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to really lead to like rapid growth for the network. The IC hasn't really seen enough events yet, and I know we're seeing more hubs start to come into play now for the network overall. But still, it just seems like we're lacking a lot of events, which is something that really draws a lot of people in. Like they want to have a like face that they can really attach the network to with like brands and stuff that they're meeting in these regional hubs. And then, from there kind of really get to explore a lot more because like, events in general just typically bring people together, which obviously like with this onboarding event, doing it like kind of virtually as well. Like you guys are using, it was called Gather Town, right? And kind of like prepping people for like, the future of virtual conferences and like metaverse settings and stuff. So I think that's going to also be a really cool initiative to see people utilize this year if they can't make it to any of the meetups. But I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to touch on with that part with Gather Town.
Well, actually, so we just nixed the Gather Town part. But we're going to have lots of engagements and like ways for people to get involved other than just watching a live stream. So there'll be ways to get into contests. There'll be we do have some metaverse partners. I'll have some spaces that'll be virtual, and so there'll be lots of different things there. And I think in terms of just ICP making noise, just to give an idea of like the cool stuff we've got going on there. So like. There's going to be influencer campaigns so that we can make noise in general Web3 too, because the whole point is to like bring people in. A lot of these meetups, we've been surprised, but there's a lot of large general Web3 meetup groups that are excited to make meetups for this. So like some of these larger meetups might have people who are learning about ICP for the first time, all of them, like, which is really cool. And then the influencers, we've got we just did an announcement, so you all are on that group along with a lot of names other people know. We've got Blockchain Boy, Six Figs, Blockchain Pill, Bitcoin Renegade, William Lorette, Aaron Bremster, and we're looking at a few other KOLs as well. But like a lot of y'all are going to be producing content for the main live stream, so and also restreaming it on your own different platforms, which I think is going to help increase our reach quite a lot. And then we've got this big PR package that with Cointelegraph that we're still about to close it. Like we already got it like pretty much figured out, and it looks like we're going to be able to pin ourselves like on the homepage of Cointelegraph with a big live now article the day of, and some articles the day before, like the weeks before. So really, they've got 8 million unique monthly readers, like really making noise for ICP beyond the ecosystem and welcoming new people in to use our dApps to get involved with what they see. And there's so many, that's the great thing about ICP, I think right now, is that people are a lot more open to listen to learn about it and listen to it because of the price action, which is great. Like people still don't understand it. They don't have the information to understand it, but they're at least welcoming the conversation, which is nice. And so a lot of people are friendlier to it. But we also have so much ready to show. Like ICP projects are not just like these aspirational things. There's so much you can just like, if you're first learning about it, you can actually log in and like do stuff on so many of our dApps. And I think that's the important part, is that we're really matured and ready as an ecosystem to have a big onboarding wave, because we can take it. We're ready for the volume, and our projects need the volume. And so, we're really psyched about it. And I mean, if anybody has questions, I don't know what your plan was for the space. I can keep talking about this all day. This is what I do, is talk about it all day. But like, I'm game for like questions if anybody has any that they want to ask or anything like that.
Yeah, we do actually have a couple people that are requesting to come up, so I'll definitely invite them up. And then I did have a video that we'd like to share out today, if that's you. So as long as you're okay with that, it's kind of just like for May 10th, if that makes sense to you. But let's see, I got Vaughn coming up and Jay's. But yeah, Daniel, did you have anything else that you wanted to comment on first? Like any points that you wanted to address to Isaac?
I guess I'm just I would say the only thought that came to mind was that I'm curious about the length of the community conference, because we did with the 2-day thing, we had an all-day thing, and we had still enough time, to have a lot of great speaker panels up and a lot of great discussions and debates and things like that. If you guys are scaling, like if the event scales to such a degree where we're not just having the people who could fly in and be there, but also like teams and groups and remote event, like mini events from around the world, then like, would you guys be concerned about running out of time for like the content, as far as only going one day? Because I get the pros and cons of doing that, but just kind of have that question to see if you guys would maybe like why you decided on that direction.
Yeah, so most of the content is going to be really like fast paced, and a lot of it pre-recorded, so that each thing is an asset that's reshareable. So like the basically like a 3-minute description of the ICP integration with Bitcoin that is something that can be used by people like beyond the event, would be like one of the examples. But in terms of like the actual meetup structure, so like first off, but even before the meetup, all day long, there's going to be like stuff to do and like giveaways and like fun things, whatever time zone you're in. And then in terms of the actual meetups, like the organizers have a lot of freedom. So like like I said, there'd be smaller ones, but there'll also be bigger branded ones with brand partners where they will have their own merch and possibly their own panels, things like that. The main watch party, we want to keep it pretty short, like 30 minutes, because when you're in a big group of people, you don't want to sit there standing around for a super long time, right? But yeah, so like the main prime time of it that people actually watch simultaneously live will be 30 minutes, but then the live stream will continue, like I said, 9 hours straight. It's going on all the time, and so the screen replies stay on while everybody continues networking. And I think for a meetup, the normal structure is already kind of like that. Like with most meetups people would attend, it's usually after work in the afternoon, 3 to 4 hours long, with most of that being networking and maybe like 30 minutes is something everybody watches together. So we want to keep that general format while including the flexibility for that local meetup organizer, whether it's an ICP hub or a partner brand, or even just a local enthusiast group, to kind of have the freedom to do whatever they want to do. But within the larger context of the event, there's like constant stuff happening. And then a lot of I don't think anybody's going to watch like all 9 hours straight. Of course, there might be some diehards that do. But the idea is to have lots of great resources and content that people can digest in the days following. And yeah, we're talking about other types of content and activities that might extend beyond the day. But really, it's all about bringing everybody together to share the news and having all of that energy pumped through like a single huge day, right?
Yeah, how long would like, as far as like the people pre-recording or streaming in the content, how long does each person typically have? Per se, if somebody was going to put on a presentation or show something quickly, would that be like also like a 3 to 5 minute thing? And what is the difference between the 30-minute runtime, like main content, and the rest of the screened content that you guys will have? Just trying to get like a better understanding of what it will look like.
Yeah.
For Power and I's sake.
So for the actual like primetime content, it's all going to be pretty fast paced and high energy, because we don't want to lose people's attention, right? We want to maximize it, and so it's going to be like 2-3 minutes per topic. So getting enough to get to the super high level things, but we're making lots of resources and reference material so people can easily dig in later, kind of like the ICPguide.com. That's kind of a first iteration of that, for example. And then there'll be there'll be other types of material too. Like most of it's generally fast paced, like 5-10 minutes. Like high quality content is the general preference. Now, influencers or content creators, they get 20 to 30 minutes to work with, to do their own thing, which we still, a lot of that's also going to be, fast paced, super interesting. There's a lot of really cool things that other people are working on. Like I think William and Let's is kind of like a variety show, and there's just all kinds of neat things that's going to look like. So the live stream is going to be pretty high energy and active. Like think of like a playlist that's only uppers, right? Like that. Like, this is not going to be like lulls. Like this is all going to be like pretty high quality content nonstop for 9 hours. Is our goal. So at any point, whoever joins, from wherever they are in the world, they get stuff that pumps them up for IC and explains the basics and all that good stuff. So like for another example of type of content we're going to have is 30 to 50-second promo vids for different projects within the ecosystem. So like explaining the basics of what Open Chat is, or explaining the basics of what Mod Club is, in like less than a minute. And unfortunately, most projects on the IC don't already have promo vids, so we're going to be trying to fix that. We want to do at least 40 to 50 of these and spread them all throughout the live stream, so that no matter when you join, you're just inundated with like, oh man, they're building that on the IC, and oh, they're building that too. But keeping it, like fast-paced, poppy, high energy, to really just pump people up about like the great stuff that we have going on.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I like the thought process behind that, for getting these 50-second, 1-minute clips. I think that's going to be really important, and I'm glad we got William up here as well, because I thought maybe William, if you wanted to share a little bit about what you're doing for your speech. You don't have to give it all.
Hey, yeah, thanks for thanks for having me up. I've just been listening to Ivan, and I'm really excited because like what I have planned for my segment is sort of, I would say, very aligned with what Isaac's talking about. It's all about community onboarding, expanding our ecosystem, breaking out of our echo chambers, whether they be an open chat or Telegram or Twitter, and like how do we really reach the next generation of ICP users. So I've got on. Initially I wanted to have on a lot more people, but I only have 30 minutes to work with. So Swop, I have you on. I have Six Figs on. I have Bitcoin Renegade on. I have Michelle Lord on, who's been my long time co-host for my Twitter Spaces, many of those which were ICP focused. So yeah, I'm just super excited to be on this Twitter space right now, and just like know that I'm aligned with like Isaac's vision right now and your vision, and what we really need to do for this community conference. So I don't have much to say. Just thanks for having me up, and I'm super looking forward to seeing everyone else's content.
Thanks for being part of it. And yeah, like that's like creators like yourself, like you all have different voices, and like I know Swap, you've got a slot too. And like that's the thing, is like this needs to be truly a community event, right? Like with all of our different voices, like keeping it fresh, because there's so many different ways to celebrate and love on ICP, and it's not just about how one person wants to do it, it's about how we like collectively do it. And then, one thing I didn't mention is that we also have Blockchain Boy as the MC. So all throughout the entire day, he's going to be drinking lots of caffeine, and just like there's always going to be that live component, and he's going to be bringing up stuff on the spot. A lot of things dynamically. So it's going to be it's going to be pretty fun, I think. And I mean, I want to go to a meetup dressed like an alien personally. Like I want to go all in with this theme and everything. And I hope that really everybody has a chance to just like break loose and really have fun with celebrating the pump and celebrating what everybody's built, and celebrating the chance to come together like this.
Yeah, I will say, at the it was at Bitcoin Miami, there was a lot of people dressed up as wizards during the conference, and it just made it freaking hilarious to see everyone kind of running around in their costumes and stuff. So I definitely hope we see some people do that for some of the events. But I'm gonna pass it over to Adam here for having his hand up.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the wizard thing was pretty great too. I mean, I had to resist because, going under my pseudonym Sage, I remember conversations with Swop and Daniel. I'm like, should I go as a sage? Should I have a mystic robe? Should I? You get a little curious and you really want to bring that energy, and going to these events, whether they're whether they're in person or whether they're something that's like, pseudo in person, pseudo virtual, like with how ICP Community Conference is going to be this year. You want to bring that energy, and you did mention Blockchain Boy, and that's something he's great at doing. I mean, you spend 5 minutes with that guy, and you're just having a great time. And there's very few people I've met that can actually do that. That just kind of, they make your whole day just kind of spending a couple minutes with them, or whether it's talking to them or watching them produce content, or I mean, the dude is just hilarious. I don't think there could have been a better decision when it came to deciding for somebody to be an MC. But I really did want to credit you guys. I said this before, Isaac, but I want to credit you guys with this hybrid idea to be able to, to do this like in person but also virtual idea to the event, to stack the different hubs, to stack different geolocations to be able to include everybody, because the ICP Community Conference this past year that happened in Florida was, I will say, it was absolutely amazing, but we do realize that that's hard for us to grow when we don't include everybody, when the internet computer and the communities that are involved, we have so many hubs, especially over in, there's a couple different ones in North America, then we have Europe, then we have, multiple in, Asia and Southeast Asia. So it's a really good idea to be able to include everybody and to be able to give everybody the chance to be able to contribute to the greater community with how they see fit. So I think it's honestly unique. I haven't seen many people do an event like this, and I know, I'm trying to think of her name. Kyle, you might be able to help me. She hosted an event herself, I think, with Singapore for ICP.
Crypto Girl.
Yes, and that had a really good really good turnout, brought a lot of new faces, a lot of new people. And when we talk about adoption to these ecosystems, there are a lot of people in these countries where they're considered developing crypto countries, and especially a lot of those places that haven't seen as much activity or haven't seen as many events. This is great to be able to, create a new use case for outreach and get these people involved and help grow Web3 in a greater paradigm. So I said this before, but I'll say it again. I really appreciate what you guys are doing with this. I think you did an absolutely phenomenal job last year, and I think the decision to do things this year this way, I think it's going to be something that people have never experienced before, and it's going to be something incredible. So.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, like, it's definitely an experiment and something new, but like, what better way to celebrate ICP, which itself is something completely new and unique. I agree with what you said about Blockchain Boy. Like, I know that he has some fun on social media here and there and everything, but like the one thing I like about him is he's exactly the same way in person that he seems like he is online. Like he's a genuinely great guy, and he really, just behind the scenes, he's like really supportive of people and super nice, like helpful, and like generally wants to see people succeed. That's where his heart is. It's not just something he says online. Like from meeting him in person several times and getting to know him, he generally does care and want people to do good. That's really like awesome. I'm glad to have his energy and him on board with this. But yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. That's our heart, is like to make this as a kind of almost like a decentralized event in terms of how it's everyone's a part of it. Every brand gets to take a part in it in their own unique ways. And there's a big secret that we can't even allude to yet, but it might be announced towards the end of March. I think once people learn that, and like y'all know what it is, but you can't say what it is. People are going to just lose their minds over this. It's going to be really hyped to a new level. We just got to get all our ducks in a row. But I think that like it's just stars aligned. I mean, we've talked to so many projects, and it's like absolutely uncanny with how many of them are about to launch or in the middle of launching something really huge that they want to make noise about between March and April leading up to this event. So like every project's roadmap, May is like the perfect time for them to make noise. So I think we're just going to like have this big megaphone as an entire ecosystem and really truly have our alien tech invade, like the theme says, right? And so in terms of anybody who's like pumped up by this, registration's open right now. It's a free event. Make sure to put in your principal ID so that you can be included in some of the airdrop stuff. That's really cool. That's coming out. So go ahead and register on the main site. As the registration will open later for the individual meetups. Just you can register for the main event today for the live stream and be part of the notification stream. Anybody who is like, I want to make sure that my city's included, and I want to make sure there's a meetup in my area. We have a microgrant program for community members who want to just like host a local meetup. This is something that can improve your local reputation. It can be really fun, and like even before getting involved in ICP, I did a meetup with 150 founders in a bar where I didn't even have to pay the venue because people paid for their own drinks, and it was a really fun event to organize. So like organizing a meetup is not that hard, and we can give you the funds you would need to do it if you need those funds. And that way your city gets included, and people who love ICP in your city can come. And you'll be surprised. Like there's more people who love ICP. We're just spread out, but like there's people who love ICP everywhere, right? And then any brands or content creators that we haven't already spoken to, that's just on our bad. We've been trying to reach out to as many as possible. I think we've hit most of them, but I mean, reach out to us. You can DM me directly, or you can DM our main account for ICPCC. It's ICP_CC. So we'll get in contact with you and find ways to get you involved. Basically, the same offers are fairly available to any brand. And the main thing is we just would love to see you get engaged and find a way to shout. Like we would love to make a spot video for you for free at the very least. And then it'd be great if you want to add a contest or giveaway to the mix to help increase the general hype for everybody. And with that, let's see. I see somebody else's hand is raised. Yeah, I mean, I'll let you moderate, Kyle. I won't take over.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I think there's a few people in the crowd that might have heard you there for potential to getting involved more with the conference. So maybe you'll see some more people reaching out here soon for that. But yeah, let's throw it over to the hands. I apologize, you've been having your hand up for quite a bit. So go ahead, Jeza.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Can you guys hear me well?
Yep.
Hi, yes. Yeah, I just wonder, I don't know, like I tried to engage with ICP on an event, but the attitude that I got from the community was that there's not enough funds, they're not big enough, and I tried to apply for a grant for throwing a meetup or an event, but I got hard rejected for it. The basic reply was that they didn't have enough money, they weren't big enough, and they didn't think that an event will make any progress on it. So I'm a little bit surprised that now I'm in this space where they're saying that a meetup is a great idea. So I just want to get a thermometer on what's the overall. Maybe just different people think different things, but I tried to apply for building a meetup, and like I said, I told them, hey, I made meetups for other chains here in the area because we're a very popular area here in Cancun, and they agree and all that, but they say, hey, we're just not ready for it. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out to see if the community is ready or not.
Yeah.
So
you can tackle it first if you want, Isaac.
Yeah, I was just going to add clarity there because I think so. It sounds like you applied to the Definity Community Grant Program. This event is not. This is we're being hosted by Code and State, which is a venture studio. So that's why it's community conference, because it's an event that's coming out of community members, not the foundation that created the protocol. And, Definity's got their own goals, and they do a lot of incredible work with like the ICP hubs. I think is their main focus for community stuff. And they do help with a lot of larger events. And they just have their own focus on what type of events they go for and everything. In our case, like I said, it's a micro grant program. So and it's specific for this conference. So basically, anybody who wants to host a meetup Watts party, you have full control over your meetup. Just make sure that there's a Watts party involved for the prime time in your time zone. And yeah, if you need a little bit of funds, we've got our own kind of like most of basically the sponsorships that we get go into the fund for helping make sure that more people get to meet up and love ICP. So it's just a different program than what you applied to before. And you can visit our website or, like I said, like DM us. And there's an application form or whatever. And yeah, I mean, maybe we can find a way to do what you're saying works, because it sounds like we do love to connect with people who have already hosted meetups for other Web3 projects in their areas, because it's time that ICP kind of took its place there. And so yeah, we might be the good fit that you were looking for.
Yeah, and to add to what Isaac was saying, with Definity being separate with the grants and stuff that they issue, they're basically like all the like grants are gonna kind of get funneled through the hubs now. So like you'll have to meet with the regional hub in order to kind of like build up your reputation and kind of go from there. So it's a little bit different than how it's been done in the past. But they do want to see events and stuff. It just has to be like kind of like, I would say, more of like a pre-approved, like they want to like see that there's like
they kind of just, I think they fund like the really big stuff, like the formation of a new hub, or like the really big picture items. And then yeah, you're right, like going through the hub, you're more likely to be able to get an individual meetup and that kind of thing. Yeah,
yeah, they want like the hubs to kind of like oversee the grants more, so they're getting like more attention and like appreciation for like the value that's getting provided, and they're going to be kind of like overseeing it from here on out. So happy to discuss that more with you after this space, or if you have another quick question or so, happy to try to answer that quick, but up to you.
Yeah, so we did DEF CON for Ethereum here in Cancun. So it was pretty big event, several $1,000s in budget and such. And yeah, so some of those things kind of like scared, I think, Definity, because they said, well, I mean, we don't want to throw a 10 grand event, which is basically a medium-sized event, for it. And it says, well, I mean, if you want to have something less, then it's kind of like too small for us. So yeah, I just want to also get the temperature of what is the community looking for. If they want 200 people, 100 people, that's, I mean, when we talk about events, I'm really learning from Isaac here, because he's explaining a lot of details of the event that he wants to see. So that's also the type of thing that I'm interested, because I want to learn what the community is looking for, and not like oversell the event or undersell the event. If you understand what I'm trying to get at.
Exactly. Yeah. And we've got, so like there's a little bit of information on our website, but basically, it's whatever scale event you have the connections to pull off or you would like to do, let us know. And then we kind of take it on a judgment call, because we're getting a lot of these requests, so we just try to balance them out. But like, if we won't shy away from small groups. Like if you only need a couple $100 to do like 20 person, 30 person small events, fine. That's great. We're not picky with that. And like I said, students meeting up for free pizza is great for us. Like that's awesome. Like anybody who loves ICP, we want to give them a chance to go somewhere and meet it. But if you want to do larger, if you can do larger, like 200-300 person events, that's more of like we'll probably have a call and just figure out how we can make it work, right? Because we'll probably need to match up some sponsors to like be able to fund that. But like, yeah, we're already doing that with some other big blockchain groups in different countries like India and just other places around the world. So like, yeah, I mean, let's it's just, it depends on what works for you on your end and what your goals are, and like how we can find a way to meet towards that. We want to be good partners and help you out.
Great.
Yeah, and then Isaac, if you're cool with it, I was actually gonna post this video. Um, Basically, uh, we just wanted to announce, so people have like the time to travel in and stuff. That we're gonna be hosting a meetup in Milwaukee. For those that aren't familiar with the U.S., Milwaukee is like an hour north of Chicago, and about an hour away from Madison. So we're pretty stoked because we have this new studio this year, and we'll be doing a lot more events on our own. But like this is going to be like the big kickoff, and we're super excited to get people in. And yeah, just wanted to share this video, and we'll get it pinned up to the top so we can help make some noise and get some people in for the event because I'm super stoked for this onboarding event that we got brewing here with the ICPCC, and I think it's going to be very special for the community and something that they remember for a very very long time. I know last year with the community conference, like we were talking about it all year. We were so stoked for getting back out to another event, and at the Hard Rock Casino, it was amazing too because like there were some people like Arthur and some others that were winning some money in between the conference and stuff. So it was great, and so we'll post this out right now, and I'll get it tagged up to the top. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys for allowing us to host this year because it's really going to be our first event where we're hosting for the IC. So looking forward to getting this out. But Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to say, and again, thanks for coming up and letting us know about the stuff. And we're really excited for this event because, like Kyle just mentioned, we were at the one last year, and we've gone to a lot of events in a lot of different places for different networks and projects, and even some of the bigger Ethereum projects. But there was no event I've ever been to that was as good or as high energy as last year's community conference. So I'm really looking forward to that this year. I'm looking forward to the experimentation with the new kind of a new style of performing it, and I think that these guys have put a lot of thought and planning ahead of it, and I'm excited to see how this turns out, and very happy to be a part of it.
Awesome. Yeah, and you were like on our speed dial. You were one of the first meetings that we had when we started this huge round of meetings at the beginning of this year to bring people into this vision that we had plotted for this new event. And I'm super stoked. I'm glad that you're able to announce it. I didn't want to like out it, like announce that you were going to be doing a meetup before anybody else, before you got a chance to do that, right? So I'm glad that you announced this and I can talk about it because I think that your event is going to be in one of those like the big ones that people travel to. Like I'm really excited about it. You guys are such like avid professionals in everything that you do, and it's exactly what I kind of want like envisioned is this meetup not being this onboarding event not being about one brand, but about being different brands. And like the Swop brand, I think it resonates with a lot of people and it's exciting. And like I'm almost sad that I'll be probably in more of the Texas area hosting the Code State meetup. That I won't be able to attend yours because I think yours is going to be the bomb. And like yeah, so anybody who's in that hemisphere, seriously consider the Swaps meetup because I think it's going to be lit. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. These guys really know production. They really know providing a good time. And I think it's going to be one of those top big ones that people just are excited to like make a flight out to. And the thing about these conferences, right? Like, yes, this is not a multi-day event, right? But when a lot of people are flying out like to a conference or whatever, there's so many little side things like the breakfasts with a bunch of founders and like the dinners with a bunch of people and like it's like like you might literally make the big connection that you're looking to make the morning after flying out to attend a Milwaukee event with the Swop, right? Like it's about all the little like peripherals, right? So like just those out there who are thinking, hey, I want to get a job in Web3 full time, or I want to start a company in Web3 full time and meet investors, or I want to whatever that big connection is you're looking for, or even if it's just you just want to meet these people in person for the first time, like this is your chance to like get involved and do that and make those things happen for you. And I have my Web3 dream job where I'm basically like a starter engine for ventures. I start companies for a living now. And I got that because I attended a meetup during Code and State when we first launched. Cedric had them do a bunch of meetups all over the world, and I attended one of those and got to meet the co-founder Artia, and that helped me get the job I have now. And there's so many more examples of that. Like the top founders are actually the top people who attend in-person events. So there's definitely a correlation there. So even if you're not able to attend this one, or you can't attend this conference or this global onboarding event, like do make an effort to attend events for the spaces that you love or things that you love, because that is the way to kind of get into it full time. Like I know that firsthand, and that's just a general rule. So yeah, thanks for the space. And anybody else, or do we need to wrap up, or do we have any other questions, or what do you want to do?
We got as much time as you want. I'll clear my schedule. So, but yeah, I'm super excited, man, and I'm open for like anyone that travels in. Like you guys have my full attention and time. Like like if you guys want to, like if there's enough feedback on like, hey, let's do something on Saturday or Sunday as well. Like if you guys want an all-night event or whatever on Saturday and pull an all-nighter and then go to brunch in the morning, I'm all there.
I mean,
So
I'm down. I'm with it.
yeah, like
honestly, now I might fly out after my event's done. I might go to your after party, right?
Yeah, man, we're gonna make that happen.
Hey, Mike, welcome. I don't know if I got muted or what, if you can hear me, but it looked like it bugged out for a second. But welcome to the space, Mike.
Yeah, yeah, man, you guys did great, Isaac. You really laid it out. The video you just put out is awesome. I'm just going back and forth in my head, like again, like with this GIF of the math. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just like, damn, wait, I'm in Long Island. I have connections to people who can have, huge events. I'm talking tens of thousands of chairs, the whole 9 yards. Like they're good friends of mine. So I can do that in Long Island. And then you say you want to host a meeting there, and I want to go see you guys. So now it's like, oh boy, time to cook some stuff up. So listen, I really think what Isaac hit on at the end, that's why I jumped up. I really want to reinforce that. Networking is everything. If you want to remain anonymous, that's fine too. Share, tweet, comment. You have no idea what it does for the algorithm. I'm jumping into so many different spaces. Like I was in a Hedera space this morning just to literally listen. And I jumped up and spoke, and I plugged ICP as an eco. They didn't even know they had NFTs. So the point I'm making here is like, go out there. Tell people, like, there is an alien tech going on here. We all know it. We've been OGs, most of us, but I think it's time that the world sees it. And I'm so excited for the ICP ECC, and I can't wait to see most of you guys in person and just see how this goes. And I want to touch home on one other thing too with Isaac. If you got money, please ante up on the marketing. We're getting a huge deal here. And I don't think you guys realize how much of an impact it can have on your project, right? People are spending $5,000 for CoinMarketCap listings, and it's getting them zero traffic, zero, people who actually matter. So can you imagine being on CoinMarketCap with all the stuff we're talking about and what you don't know about and what's coming and all these giveaways? I mean, this is going to be absolutely insane in the context of eyeballs, so this is the time, this is the time, in my opinion, to, pick up your purse and actually ante up here and make this the biggest event in terms of eyeballs that we can. Because I can assure you this, having spoke to most of the projects that are going to be on it, it is going to be so hype and so exciting. So I'm so amped to see it happen. And I really might show up as an alien clown. We'll see.
Nice. That'll be fun. And, I've heard people talk about how it's awkward to go to conferences by yourself, or how it's like, a lot of us, let's be honest, a lot of us are nerds, right? But I want to just ease that concern, because we had nobody had problems having the best conversations of their lives at the last event. So everybody who's listening to this space, you're one of those crazy ICP people, and we love you for that. So if you go to one of our events, everybody there is going to fit into one of two categories. They're either going to be somebody that you've talked to in a space, or that you listened to in a space, or that they're a founder or ICP person that and you get to meet them for the first time, and they're going to be friendly. You get to have a great conversation, getting to meet the innovators that you've been following. Or the other category is they're a Web3 person who just learned about ICP for the first time, and they're just begging you to tell them about ICP. How many times, I bug my wife all the time with ICP information she never asked to know. She knows so much about this network. And a lot of my friends, I love talking about ICP. I think I made a joke about how so many family members are going to hear about ICP during the Christmas season from all the nerds who are celebrating it going up. right? Like this is your chance to basically have people begging you to tell them all the things you love about ICP, or you get to meet somebody who's taught you about it and like get to know them on a personal basis for the first time. So either way, you're going to have a great time talking to everybody there, no matter how much of an introvert you are. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, there's going to be like airdrop incentives and all kinds of really exciting things coming out that are just going to, I think drive these meetups wild, honestly, once they all get announced.
And if I could just build on one thing that's really important, that feeling that you feel before you get on a space or before you go to a major event, that feeling in your stomach, that nervousness or whatever, people are going to judge me or whatever the hell's going on in your head, it doesn't matter. Because once those nerves work themselves out, from what I've seen in this community, as long as you're not trying to steal people's money, you're literally going to be listened to and you're going to be heard, no matter who you are or where you are, because anybody can develop on the IC and anyone can be part of this system. So I just want to be really clear in that feeling that you feel is not necessarily, it's something that later on in your life, you might look back and say, man, I should have jumped in. I should. Well, this is your chance to actually get involved in the next iteration of what I believe is the internet. So, and I think a lot of us up here, us nerds, understand what is really going on behind the scenes in the context of the technology. Now is the time to get out there and make those connections, because once they're made, those nerves will go away and they will turn into ridiculous feelings of just like, wow, I feel, part of something. That's what the world literally needs right now. It needs something to throw itself into, to focus on, to build, that brings us together, not divides us. So I am really hoping that the IC ecosystem as a whole can do that. But from what I'm seeing organically, you're hitting on all the top points, Isaac. And I just want to drive that home in the context of like that feeling in your gut. I know it. We all know it. But once you start rolling, it doesn't matter, especially when you're around people that you feel comfortable with. And that's what I think Isaac is trying to really hit home, is that's what we're trying to do. We're nerds here, and we're trying to build a family ecosystem that grows together. It's as simple as that.
Thanks for that. And, I got to know Mike Craftsman Planet through a space several months ago. And it's just been cool seeing him get like on his own onboarding over the last several months into ICP, getting deeper. And then I like his story of how he found the clown token, thought it was cool, and just like bought it, like took it over the project. And so I think there's so many cool stories out there too. And that's really the valuable thing that we can't really convey on spaces. It's just like, it was my favorite thing in the last event, just like talking to people and just hearing about like, what was their story of how they got into ICP, and like, what, put a note of it, Esteban, maybe we need some more of those testimonies like ICP, what do they call it? Yeah, I guess it's just testimonies. That might be fun to add in a little bit. But anyways, any other questions, or anyone else just want to, add something? I mean, I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you're planning with your space, if you can share anything. I haven't had a chance to watch your video, obviously, yet, but I can't wait to watch it as soon as I get off, Kyle, about the space you're.
Yeah. So we're still discussing it. I mean, for like the event, depending on how we have it arranged, like we can fit like 100 to 200 people in the studio. So it again, it depends on how it's arranged, but we'll definitely get the head count, and then kind of like organize it quicker from there, from like what kind of things we're gonna do. But this year we're definitely gonna do something kind of like IRL Alpha, which I know Art Snitch has been on that in the crowd here, which is something out in LA. But basically they'll do like a live panel discussion, and let the audience get involved. And there's a lot of influencers and stuff that get up on those spaces, or those panel discussions. So we'll definitely do some stuff like that this year, because there's some ICP teams out in Milwaukee and Chicago area. But yeah, like, we're gonna do kind of like a discussion like about what we're doing. I think there's a lot of people that don't necessarily know about us yet, even though we've been here for quite a bit. But we do want to keep an element of surprise, especially if we end up dropping something pretty cool for the event. So I don't know if there's anything that Daniel wants to share, because he's got a couple things brewing on his end, for projects that he's working on outside of the Swop. So
Yeah, we're talking for the event, for the conference, right?
correct. Yes.
Yeah, no, we've got a ton of things that we've just been kind of working on completely in stealth. A whole bunch of random things we haven't even mentioned yet. So hoping to have a lot of those ready, or ready to be announced and at least like debuted. right around that same time. So hopefully we'll have a lot of exciting things that we'll get to announce as well. Create some hype and get some people on and part of the event feeling like they're involved. So yeah, we're looking forward to that, and it's all still in planning. And I'm sure that we're going to have some really great people at the event. Like Kyle said, there's some ICP teams out there in that general area. Plus, I'll be bringing some people with me from New York, so there'll be definitely some cool things to be seen there that we're planning. I just don't want to say too much because we want it to be exciting.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love hearing that, guys. And yeah, I mean, I can't share certain details too, but I just think that like there are going to be brand new tokens and NFT projects that I know. I'm not talking about anything that Swop has mentioned. I'm talking about other projects that I've talked to. There's going to be other partners launching like big brands launching new stuff to play with, basically. So like it's going to be, I think, like a DGen carnival in terms of just fun things introduced during the event. So not just giveaways of existing assets you know and love, but I think this is going to be a genesis in terms of, you know, fun new things popping up. Like, for example, we're not internally going to do an alien NFT collection, but I think that something like that might happen. And there's a partner who mentioned that they might do that. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool different things.
Hey Isaac, you are saying too much. We can't say everything.
And y'all didn't hear it.
Yeah, I know Isabel's up here too. She had her hand up. So Isabel, if you'd like to ask away or say anything, go ahead.
Hey everybody, it's been a while since I've been on a space. I'm so happy for Kyle having these spaces again. We needed them. I also want to congratulate you guys for your upcoming event for the ICP Community Conference. I'm very excited for all the new projects that are probably going to launch soon, and we'll have more visibility thanks to the conference. As some might know, I'm now part of Personal DAO, and I also want to thank Code and State for reaching out and just say that we will have a video during the event to let you guys know more about the project. And if everything works out, Jesse will be hitting the Swaps event. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I unfortunately won't be able to fly out, but I will try to catch the live stream. But thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Kyle and the Swap and all the guys for all the hard work you guys put into the ecosystem and for actually creating a real community in ICP. So thank you so much, and I wish you guys the best.
Thank you very much, Isabel, and we greatly appreciate you. For those that might not be familiar with Isabel, I'd actually be pretty surprised because she is like the glue of the community, always keeping people on like engaged in Discords, Twitter, and District, and all of that. So I can't thank Isabel enough for her contributions to the ecosystem. She's really a trooper and deserves a follow if you're not already following her.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and second that. Isabel has not only been a great supporter, also an ecosystem OG, but also a good friend. So I got to give that to her all the way. I wish we had Slafe in here with the soundboard. The round of applause. Like the round of applause.
Oh, and Isaac, because you're in Texas with your event, make sure you get Slafen, recruit Slafen to be at your event. He's such a good time, and I think he'd be a great person to have potentially speak as well there for Boxy if you haven't already reached out.
Oh, you know what? I actually just had a call with Slayfin this morning, like 30, 40 minutes ago before the space. And no, he's a great guy. and there's a lot of people in Texas. Like I was surprised. I think my first there's it was first off, it was really cool meeting my first ICP person in real life a while back. I think it was actually Wenzel or Austin Father. I forget which one. It may have been Wenzel, but yeah, it's like I finally got to go home and tell my wife, "Hey, my internet friends are real," and so I think it's gonna be a great feeling. Like I know exactly what that feeling's like. It's gonna be awesome for everybody who like gets to go to their first ICP event this year, but yeah, in Texas, gosh, we've got a fair amount of people in Texas. I think there's so many big cities and it's so spread out. There'll probably also be more than one meetup in Texas. But like the official Code State one, I think will be one of those ones that people try to make an extra effort to attend. And right now we're currently leaning towards Austin, but it's tough. Like we have to nail a few things down. But I do know the other Code State event is going to be in a really cool incubator space in Germany, and that's going to be pretty dope over there as well. And but yeah, lots of cool stuff happening, man.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. Is there any more questions in the audience? I do know there was a couple people that commented on the post for the video, but I don't think it was anyone in the space. We were asked if there's going to be BYOB or if there's going to be a classy bar for the event, and I said we're in Wisconsin, so I'm 99% sure there's going to be cocktails available for those interested. But yeah, we're looking forward to it, and we're super excited to get a head count of everyone planning on traveling in. We'll get like hotels and stuff kind of like mapped out in the area. We'll be in the historic third ward of Milwaukee, which is like a upscale place. That is where our studio is. It's basically like the old industrial area that got totally renovated inside, so it's super cool with like the buildings. There's a lot of like really fancy stores. The Milwaukee Public Market is right in there as well. And then we're also like really like close to like the Pfizer Forum in the Deer District. So like there's tons of stuff you can do right around in the area. And yeah, we're just looking forward to yep, I see Web3 Advocate. Yeah, there'll be cocktails for those interested. I'm 99% sure. But yeah, we're looking forward to it, and we can't wait for you all to come out. So but yeah, I'm happy to wrap it up here, Isaac or Esteban, if there's anything else that you guys want to add. Um,
No, it was super great. I think that is all covered. I just want to invite everyone of this ecosystem that wants to be part of the ICPCC, not just organizing a meetup. Uh, you can write me a DM here to this account of the ICPCC or my personal account or Isaac. Just write us a DM and let's go to make this event. All of us, it's not just a code and state event, it's a community event. So write us and let's go to work together.
awesome, and we appreciate it, Esteban. Daniel, I was gonna pass it over to Sage quick.
Oh, I was gonna do the same thing. My bad.
Yeah, I just wanted to again thank everybody for their support towards the ICP Community Conference, towards the ICP community, towards the swap with what we've been doing and what we plan to do in the near future. We've been posting a lot about the developments we're making and the new things we're going to be implementing, especially with the ordinals drop of Go to GamerDAO, which is on the BitGen standard, which is on the Bionic Marketplace, which comes from the powerhouse minds of Bob Bodley and Easy Steve, who pioneered Tonic Labs. So, very heavy ICP integration there, along with, with their integration with Bitcoin. But lots of amazing developments being posted, so we appreciate all the support, and that's how we grow as a community. The internet computer is, still something that's in its, starting stages when it comes to growing as an ecosystem. And this is the most important thing, is to get out there, to tell people about it, to reverberate the community aspect. And you'll really be surprised, as was said before, with how many people out there actually are aware of what the internet computer is and want to learn more about it. We went to a lot of conferences, and people would ask us, what chain are you guys involved in, say the internet computer, and they're like, oh yeah, ICP, I know about that. So it's honestly very humbling when you go and talk to a lot of people who you think they're going to be from a completely different background. You got to explain all this stuff, and really they're already aware of what's taking place on the networks, in the blockchain, and really all you have to do is just explain to them, what's new, the new developments that have been breaking, and everything that's going on here. And I think, as said, the ICP Community Conference is a great way to do that. It's a great way to, bring in some friends who may not be as aware of the internet computer, and to keep educating, to keep spreading the word. So we appreciate the support and just can't wait to grow with everybody.
Awesome. And yeah, I guess I'll close this out with just a few words. And the first is a number I want to leave y'all with. So like last year, we had about 150 people meet together. It was incredible. It was useful. It was awesome. This year, I think we're on track already to have over 2,000 people meeting in person to celebrate ICP. I think like just the effect of last year was huge. The effect of this year is going to be something we've never seen before. And so this is the biggest thing in ICP to be a part of. But ultimately, we're all a part of something bigger than just ICP itself, because Web3 as a whole, it was created because people saw problems in the world that we didn't like, and that we the people ourselves are like, Web3 is a revolution where we're going to try to make a positive impact on the world. And I think ICP is the strongest tool to do that. And that's why I love it. This is a pragmatic network. This is a network that can get things done. This is our chance to come together in positivity and not division, to really, like, as an actual global community, start to try to solve some of the dark problems in our world that are caused by greed and corruption. We're taking the first early steps here to form a new world. And that's what Web3 is ultimately about. Like, I love meme coins. I love losing my money on meme coins and degen projects, and all that's fun and it has its place. But like, we got into Web3 because of an ethos. Because of we created brilliant people created a language where you cannot lie, right? And now we have a useful version of that can organize people and resources in ways that people have never seen before. And we're at the first steps of exploring that. This is the biggest chance in all of our lives to be part of a revolution that's social, technological, and good. So let's all like meet each other and be part of it together, and show encouragement and show positivity. And so with that, I'll leave it off, and just hope the best for all of you out there. Keep building, and let's do this.
Please end this space. That was amazing.
Yeah, we're ending it right here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And if you didn't hear the space fully, you can go back and check it on the Swop space, which is found in our bio. That is our space storage spot for all of our spaces on X. So thank you all again, and we're looking forward to the ICPCC. We'll see you May 10th.
Yep. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming. Have a great afternoon or night.